What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to go through and I'm going to help you improve the quality of your dating profile. Your picture choices say everything, and yes, what you say in your bio plays a part, but fundamentally it's going to come down to choosing the right pictures for you. I've worked with male clients on this, and I've worked with my friends on this, and there's usually several themes that I hear. In fact, it usually tends to follow a process that's something similar to this. And I'm sure as you're watching, you can probably relate to it a little bit as well. The first step, you create your account, you scroll through and you see some nice girls that you're attracted to and you'd like to meet up with. You get no matches. So first of all, you internalize it. You decide that you're not good looking enough for the app. You decide that you're not tall enough for the app. You decide that because you can't put your salary on the app, women don't want to date you. After a while, you get fairly frustrated on taking the blame and putting it on yourself. So then you blame the technology. You'll say things like, Tinder's not working, Bumble's broken, neither Tinder or Bumble or any other dating app sync up to my Facebook account, so my profile's not getting seen, and the problem is with the technology and the problem is not with my profile. Then lastly, you'll usually abandon something like that. You'll abandon the idea that you're not good enough and you become really entitled. And what you then say when you become entitled is plain and simple. You'll say, I don't want these women are shallow, these women are nasty, and these women aren't good enough for me. And then you'll usually do a nostalgic rant back to the 1980s, back when people used to meet through friends of friends, even though you likely weren't even born then and you likely weren't even dating then. It's stupid, it's a waste of time, and I think what men really need to realize is that just a few changes in their pictures and just a few changes to their profile and they can usually dramatically increase their successes. That's what I'm going to help you with in this video. I've written down 10 rules which I think are fundamental in making your own picture choices. The first rule to discuss is the idea that you're not just being judged on you in the picture, you're being judged on the photo overall. The human eye, when it sees a picture, doesn't just fixate on the person that's in the picture, it takes in the image as a whole. So you can have great looking guys on Tinder with average photos that don't do very well, and you can have average looking guys on dating apps with great photos that do really, really well. And the reason they do so much better is just because the overall image quality is better. So people are looking at their images and they're thinking, that's great, I like that, I like him. But they're not necessarily looking at the guy and scoring whether he's attractive, they're just deeming whether the photo itself is attractive. Second thing to bear in mind, you want a mixture of high quality images and candid images. Dating apps are full of good looking guys with great quality photos of them in professional studios or great quality photos that they've paid people to do. But these guys just look like they take themselves too seriously. They look dull, they look uninteresting, and their photos don't do anything to offer an insight into their life. By contrast, you'll have average guys with great photos of themselves out and about doing things that they're passionate about, with really good quality photos taken of them in their best angles, looking positive, looking upbeat, and looking happy, and looking like the type of person that you would want to meet. Those guys will always do better than the good looking guys that look like they take themselves far too seriously. Thirdly, I see a lot of guys make this mistake, and I can see why, but you don't want to choose photos that get the most likes on social media or the most likes on your social media profiles. Because yes, they may be photos that are liked because they're you in your best, should we say your most accurate likeness, because your friends will always like photos that they think represent you the most. But they won't be the photos that show you in your most attractive state. So if you're a guy who enjoys socializing, enjoys drinking, you'll probably have a photo on your social media of you holding a pint glass or you holding a drink that's got a huge amount of likes because people know that that's you and people know that you're happy in that environment. But we know that photos of you with alcohol don't perform well on dating profile apps. And similarly, linking into that, a photo may be funny to you, but that doesn't necessarily mean it'll be funny to everybody else that sees it. Guys, stop putting up photos of you doing Movember. Stop putting up photos of you with a little tash. Stop putting up photos of you going to a Halloween wearing a costume that made you laugh for 10 minutes when you were there, and then you looked back at the next day and then thought, why did I wear that? People aren't laughing when they see it on dating apps. People aren't looking at you and thinking that, wow, this guy's fun, this guy looks like a kind of guy I want to hang around with. They're just looking at you thinking, why are you wearing that costume? Or why don't you just have a shave because moustaches haven't been funny for a long time. Next up, photos should be chosen on attractiveness, trustworthiness, and intelligence. You've got to think about it like this, and I think guys don't understand this. When a woman is meeting up with a complete stranger, she is putting her safety in your hands for the night. And I'm sure you've been on a date with a woman where you've discussed at the start how she was feeling and whether she was nervous. And she's explained to you that she had to tell one of her friends that she was going on a date with you so that she had that get out of jail card, so that she could make a swift escape if she decided that there was no spark or she didn't feel at ease around you. We don't have to factor that in, and I think we often forget that. But if we choose photos where we look trustworthy and we choose photos where we look intelligent, a woman can look at those pictures and she can think he'll be fun, he'll be interesting, and he'll have a lot to say, but also he'll be trustworthy and he'll make sure that I get home okay for the night. So please bear that in mind. You can be a great looking guy, but you can also be a great looking guy that doesn't look intelligent and doesn't look trustworthy. Number 6, no group shots. Guys, don't do this. You need to stop doing this. When you throw in group shots, you just basically raise the difficulty level for a woman in terms of identifying whether she's attracted to you. Because firstly, she's got to compare you to your mates, and second of all, she's got to find you within that picture. So unless you've got a good quality group photo of yourself where you're the main focus, and for the record, I don't think many people will, because to get a photo of that level, you need someone who is a very talented photographer. You're really just going to raise the difficulty for the woman, and she'll probably just swipe left because she hasn't got the patience or the interest level in trying to identify which one you are. Next up, number 7, uncomfortable shots can be creepy. So a lot of guys will have really high quality profile pictures taken where they've been asked to pose in a certain way, or they've been asked to pose at a certain angle, and it may be a great background, it may be taken by a really talented photographer, but they look uncomfortable. Maybe they can't lock eyes directly with the camera. Maybe they're looking slightly to the side, but one eye's looking at the camera at the same time. What that image really projects is discomfort, someone that's not at ease, and someone who struggles when the attention's on them. So you may look at the photo and like the photo because you know that a lot of effort went into getting that photo, but a woman will look at it and she'll probably feel slightly uneasy when she sees it because she'll detect that you felt uneasy when that picture was taken. So it goes back to what I said earlier, choose high quality candid images that show you at your best light where you feel at ease. Number 8, no narcissistic or no materialistic shots. Women don't want to see your car and women don't want to see your body. We need to get over this idea that women respond to looks in the way that we do. Women do not get off on your body. Women are not sitting playing with themselves over a guy's six-pack. They'll look at it, they'll respect the commitment and the dedication that it had to get you to that point. And if you're a more muscular, well-built guy, they'll look at you and think that they're going to feel safe around you. But they're not going to see a picture of a guy they've never met, think, my God, he's so fucking sexy, and start playing with themselves there and then. It's just not going to happen. Similarly, you may love your new car. You may love the fact that it's got a more powerful engine than your last car, but a woman doesn't care. She's not looking at that thinking, oh my God, he's gone from a 1.6 to a 2 litre. She's just gonna look at it and she's just gonna think, okay, he's got a nice car. So does 90% of the other guys that I'm matching with. Done, swipe left, move on to the next guy. Number 9, avoid selfies, or at the very least, a good headshot is okay, but don't base your profile around selfies. Selfies firstly come across as vain, but there's also a lot of scientific research that shows that when people are faced with a close-up image of you, we actually perceive that person to be less trustworthy because we feel that that person is making a concerted effort to come into our personal space. So avoid selfies unless you absolutely don't have a good quality of photo that's not a selfie, and really trying to stick to photos that won't feel as intrusive as that does. And we'll talk about that when we come to my pictures in a little bit. And lastly, pick a variety of shots where possible. So don't choose photos of you just in the gym. Don't choose photos of you just playing a sport. Don't choose photos of you just with your friends, and don't choose just high quality photos of you. You want a wide range of profile pictures that show you in lots of settings of you at your best and lots of settings where you're feeling comfortable.